So now I'm recording with the front-facing camera on the LG G5, guys. I'm recording with a full HD 1080p at 30 frames per second, and this is the max what G5 camera can do. As far as the hardcore specs are concerned, the front-facing camera has an 8 megapixel sensor with an f2.0 aperture, which is a very good figure for a flagship phone as far as 2016 is concerned. The quality of the phone's front-facing camera is pretty comparable to the S7 and the S7 Edge. I know I haven't uploaded any samples from the S7 Edge so far, guys, but I promise you in the next few weeks to come or few days to come, I will definitely upload a video sample from the S7 Edge as well. And if possible, I will compare both the front-facing cameras on the S7 Edge and the LG G5 and show you guys what the difference in quality is. But from what I can see so far, the quality is quite decent enough. The camera is keeping a good focus on my face, and overall it's not too bad, and most of you will definitely enjoy the front-facing camera on the LG G5. So right now I'm recording with the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge front-facing camera, guys. I'm actually indoors, as you can see, in my room, but there's plenty of light coming from my window at the back, as you can see. The camera has a 5 megapixel sensor with f1.7 aperture, which is probably one of the best in the industry. The camera records a decent quality of videos. It can go up to 2K max, and it can record 1080p up to a maximum of 30 frames per second and not 60 FPS like the back camera. As you guys can see, I'm actually moving the camera, and this S7 Edge is keeping a very good steady video. Despite having no optical image stabilization at the front, still the video quality seems decent enough to me so far from what I can see. As you can see, I'm moving the camera around, guys, and still it's keeping its focus, it's keeping the video fairly stable, and I'm moving all the way across. By the way, I'm not using any selfie stick. I'm holding this phone with my right hand, so keeping that in mind, I think the quality is not too bad at all. So guys, right now I'm recording with the front-facing camera on the LG G5. In terms of specs, guys, the camera has an 8 megapixel sensor with an f2.0 aperture, unlike the S7 Edge or in the S7, which both have f1.7 aperture on the front-facing cameras. This camera can record up to a maximum of 1080p at 30 frames per second. It cannot record up to 2K like the S7 and the S7 Edge can. As you can see, guys, I'm indoors actually, and there's plenty of light coming from my window at the back end, as you can see. But the whites are slightly blown out as compared to what it was on the S7 Edge, which you just saw in the clip. But overall, keeping in mind that the camera has no optical image stabilization, it's doing a fairly good job, and I'm also indoors as well, so not too bad. It's retaining the quality, the image is fairly stable, the video is fairly stable as well, and I'm holding this phone with my right hand and not any selfie stick. So keeping that in mind, I think it's a very decent quality so far from what you can see. So guys, right now I'm recording with the front-facing camera on the LG G5. As far as the hardcore specs are concerned, you can record up to a maximum of 1080p with 30 frames per second, unlike the one on the S7 Edge, with which you can record up to 2K. But both phones can record up to 30 frames per second at 1080p with the front-facing camera. And as far as the aperture is concerned, the front-facing camera on the LG G5 has an f2.0 aperture, and on the S7 Edge it's f1.7 aperture. As you guys can see, the video quality is very comparable to the S7 Edge. From what I can see, I think the video might be slightly a bit jerky. The video on the S7 Edge was slightly more stable than the LG G5. So let's move across, guys, and let's walk a bit and see how the video comes up. I think from what I can see, it's a little bit jerky. Both front-facing camera on the phones haven't got no optical image stabilization, but obviously somehow the S7 Edge seems to be a bit more stable, and that's probably down to the software image stabilization, which Samsung are quite well known with all their cameras, back camera, front cameras, and also the cameras from the past as well. The LG G5 has improved, definitely, no question about it, as compared to the LG G4 and the LG G3. So from what I can see so far, guys, very comparable to the S7 Edge, but I will slightly give an edge to the S7 Edge because it has slightly better image stabilization, and the video is not as jerky as it is on the LG G5. So guys, right now I'm recording with the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge front-facing camera. As far as the hardcore specs are concerned, it has an f1.7 aperture with a 5 megapixel sensor. The front-facing camera can record up to 2K. However, in this video we're recording at 1080p, 30 frames per second, to compare it with the LG G5. From what I can see so far, guys, the video quality seems very decent so far. The focus on my face is quite there. It's not losing any focus, and as far as the image, video image stabilization is concerned, I think despite having no OIS, the front-facing camera is doing a fairly good job from what I can see so far. It's nice and sunny today, so obviously ideal conditions for the phone to shoot videos. But as compared to LG G5, I think it might be slightly better. Uh, Even though the LG G5 has got an 8 megapixel sensor with f2.0 aperture, but I still think the S7 Edge is doing a slightly better job, and the video is not as jerky as it was on the G5. Now let's walk along and see how the video stays steady, if it does. As you can see, the video is fairly steady, guys, and the color reproduction, the contrast ratio, dynamic range seems to be really spot on, not too bad. But I would say both the LG G5 and the S7 Edge have a decent front-facing cameras, and for vlogging and any sort of selfies, I'm sure you guys will be pretty happy. I would be very interested to see how the HTC 10 comes up when finally gets launched. Apparently that phone has optical image stabilization in the front-facing camera, which is industry's first, and I would love to compare that with the S7 Edge and also the LG G5 and see how it comes out. So guys, now I'm shooting indoors in my living room with the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge front-facing camera. As you can see, the lighting conditions are not ideal. There's a bit of light coming through my curtains, but in general, the light is pretty low, and it's a good test for the front-facing camera to see how the people will be recording videos, vlogging, especially if there's low light or night time. As you can see, I'm moving the camera across, guys, and the video is still very stable, but a bit grainy because of the difficult conditions. So it'll be a good test for the S7 Edge to see how the front-facing camera fares up. We'll be doing the same with the LG G5 in just a moment, guys. So just to give you an idea, as you can see, I'm moving across, and the S7 Edge is doing a fairly good job, not too bad. Keeping in mind that it's a very dark room, I think the video is coming up pretty good, and this goes to show what Samsung was actually talking about, the low light performance on their phone on both the front and the back cameras. Now guys, I'm recording with the LG G5 front-facing camera. I'm actually indoors where the lighting conditions are a bit difficult. As you can see at the back, there's a bit of light coming from my curtains, and I've done this purposely so that I create difficult environment and conditions for the cameras. As you can see, the LG G5 camera is doing a fairly decent job, but the video is a bit grainy. As far as the quality is concerned, obviously it's dropped down a bit because of low light, but it seems to me as if the S7 Edge was doing slightly better than the LG G5. Even though, don't get me wrong, it's still a very decent quality. LG G5 is trying its best to keep the contrast ratio, brightness, and everything in check, but I think from what I can see, the video is a bit more grainy as compared to what it was on the S7 Edge. But you can still see my face clearly. It's keeping a decent enough focus. The image stabilization is decent enough as well, but I still think I have to give a bit of slight edge to the S7 Edge. But overall, decent enough quality, not too bad, and you can use this front-facing camera on the LG G5 for vlogging and taking snaps.